Look, I'm not gonna bury the lead here. Tonight's fairy tale stars a girl who rides a goat and kills witches and trolls with a wooden spoon. It's the Norwegian fairy tale Tatterhood.
Fucked up fairy tales with Liz. Ding!
Once upon a time, there was a king and queen who were unable to conceive children. Very popular motif in tales. She wanted a child so badly, she even dreamed of dealing with the stresses of discipline and bad behavior. Which is funny because that's the kind of thing that makes my ovaries shrivel up and disintegrate back into my person. But this fairy tale, king and queen, opted out of knocking on a fairy's door or bribing a wizard and simply decided to adopt a little girl. Their adopted little girl liked to play in the yard, tossing around a golden apple. One day the girl noticed a beggar woman who had a daughter her own age, and the two kids became fast friends. But the queen was not a huge fan of this friendship. A princess mustn't socialize with a beggar. End your friendship with this underage poor immediately. You wouldn't be so quick to throw me out if you knew what my mom could do. And what are you talking about? My mom can tell you how to have your own child. But I'm her own child. No, I mean her own real child, like the kind that comes out of her hoo-ha. My mother doesn't care about that. She loves me. Right, Mom? Tell me more, Raggedy Ann. Just get my mom good and drunk and she'll give you the goods. The queen invited the beggar woman in and got her all boozed up. A little bird told me, so to speak, that you know how a woman who hasn't been able to summon the stork, so to speak, might be able to find herself with a bun in the oven, so to speak. Wait, what the fuck did you just say to me? Because I have had an entire bottle of this rosé and you need to speak plain English to me, girl. Put a baby in me. All right, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna get 2 pails of water, bring them up to your room. You're gonna bathe in each of them, and then you're gonna just like throw them under the bed. It's gonna make a fucking mess, but just trust me. Because in the morning, you're going to find 2 flowers growing there, and you're going to be like, how much did I have to drink last night? But it's magic. One of the flowers will be pretty, one of the flowers will be fucking ugly. Eat the pretty one, don't eat the ugly one. Like, you're thinking, yeah, I won't eat it, but sometimes people in fairy tales can be really stupid. The queen followed the beggar woman's advice almost to the letter. In the morning, she found one flower black and shriveled up, and a second flower bright and beautiful, so she gobbled the beautiful one right up. It tasted so good, it made her curious about the taste of the other flower, so she ate that one too. The flower magic worked, and the queen found herself in the family way. But the queen could have read What to Expect When You're Expecting Medieval Edition front to back 12 times, and she would not have found any advice for what she was about to experience. Okay, Your Majesty, here comes the baby. I can see the head. Is the child a boy or a girl? A girl, and oh my god, what the The baby girl was born riding a goat with a wooden spoon in hand. And she was the ugliest fucking baby you had ever laid eyes on. Mama! Oh my god, what have I done? Calm your tits, Mom. My twin will be the beauty in the family, okay? Did that baby riding a goat just speak full sentences to me? Wait a minute, twins? Sure enough, the queen had a second child, a girl, the most beautiful baby anyone had ever laid eyes on. Is that one riding anything? No, and no kitchen utensils either. Don't feel bad, Mom. They can't all be winners. The royal family named the elder twin Tatterhood because she always wore this gray, tattery old hood. I'm assuming in addition to the goat and the spoon, she was also born wearing the hood. Otherwise, they waited until she was old enough to pick out her own clothes to give her a name. The other girl was named... Oh, wait a minute. Nope, sorry, we do not get a name for her. Seems good looks, can't get you everything. As for the little girl that the couple adopted, well, your guess is as good as mine, because she just fucking disappears from this story. Now, the queen and the nurses were so disgusted by Tatterhood's looks that they tried to, keep her away, hidden in a room. But Tatterhood was too high-spirited for that, and plus, she adored her twin sister, and her twin sister loved her right back. They were inseparable, and I loved that for them. When the girls were half grown up, which I'm going to assume means they're coming of age based on some of the plot points later, they had a Christmas Eve they would never forget. The family was at home, doing their thing, when all of a sudden there rose such a clatter, Tatterhood sprang from her bed to see what was the matter. Ugh, don't worry about them. It's just the people who rented the neighbor's Airbnb. And what do we know about them? A whole pack of witches and trolls booked the place, and they're just making merry. No worries. I'll take care of them. Are you as mad as you are ugly, girl? You can't take on a pack of witches and trolls by yourself. Don't worry, Mom. I've got my wooden spoon, and I've got my goat. Oh, great. Now I'm more worried. I can handle it. Just whatever you all do, keep the door shut tight. The royal family had no idea how Tatterhood was weathering the trolls, but they did hear an enormous ruckus outside. In fact, the entire palace shook, as if it was going to tumble to pieces. Now, Tatterhood's twin couldn't resist checking on her sister, so she opened the door just a teeny tiny bit. But that tiny bit was all one evil witch needed. She magicked the beautiful girl's head right off her body and replaced it with a calf's head. And naturally, since the girl now had a calf's brain, she began walking around on all fours and mooing up a storm. What the hell happened to her? Did someone open the door? Yes, your sister opened the door. She was worried about you. I told you I would have handled it. Now I have to clean up this mess. The girl asked her father for a ship full of supplies and rations, but she refused a crew. She only wished to have her sister cow and her goat by her side. First, Tatterhood sailed to the land of the witches. Once there, she left her sister on board and marched right up on that goat to the witches' castle, where those dumb witches had proudly displayed the princess's head on the wall, plainly visible through an open window. Tatterhood and her goat leapt through that window and snatched up the princess's head, and the witches chased after her to get it back. But Tatterhood was so handy with that wooden spoon, she beat off enough of them that they tired of the chase. When she got back to the ship, Tatterhood was able to replace her sister's head, and I'm not going to think too much about how that worked. And she decided they would keep sailing to meet the king. The king of the land was a widower, with one son who was the same age as Tatterhood and her twin. When the king heard about this strange ship that sailed into his harbor, he had his servants scout it out. Sir, the boat only has 2 people on it. One is an extremely homely woman clattering around the deck on a goat with a wooden spoon in her hand, and the other is a girl who she will not show to anyone unless the king shows up. Color me intrigued. When the king showed himself, Tatterhood called her sister out from below deck, and the moment he laid eyes on that girl, he fell deeply in love with her. I want to marry her. My sister and I are a package deal. If you want to marry her, you have to promise me your son's hand. So I'd marry your sister, which would make me your brother-in-law, and you'd marry my son, which would make me also your father-in-law? Look, man, is it any grosser than a guy wanting to marry a girl who is young enough to be his own daughter? She's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions about who she dates. I make all the decisions around here. So the king agreed, and this didn't go over too well with his son. So I'm going to marry the hot one, and you're going to marry the ugly one that rides a goat all the time. What the fuck, Dad? I don't want to marry that ugly bitch. Besides, don't you feel at all weird about this setup? Son, if the roles were reversed, what would you do? Well, I'd bone the hot one and make you marry the goat lady. Fine. Father and son had a double wedding. The king couldn't be happier, but the prince sulked the whole fucking time. The king left the church first with his new beautiful wife, and the crowd oohed and awed over them. And following behind them was the newlywed prince and Tatterhood. He was on horseback, and she, as usual, was riding her trusty goat. Why so glum, chum? You gonna sulk this way through the whole honeymoon? I don't even know what to say to you. Seriously, you can't think of a single thing? I ride this ugly goat everywhere all the time, and you don't even want to know why? Fine. Why do you ride that ugly goat all the time? Is it an ugly goat? That's so weird, because I thought it was the most beautiful horse a woman had ever rode upon. Before the prince's eyes, the goat transformed into the most incredible horse that the prince had ever seen. They rode on, but the prince fell silent again. So you still got nothing for me? You don't even want to know why I clutch this old spoon in my hand all the time? Why do you hold that old spoon all the time? What old spoon? This is the most delicate lace fan a woman has ever carried. And still he can't find anything to say to me. Imagine riding alongside your new wife and she wears this nasty old hood and you don't even want to know why. Why do you wear that nasty old hood all the time? How dare you call my glowing golden crown a nasty old hood? So, any other questions? You're really gonna make me feed this one to you? What? Well, based on what you've seen so far, my ugly goat turned into a beautiful horse, my old spoon turned into a delicate fan, my ugly hood turned into a golden crown, so you're not thinking there's anything else that could get an upgrade? Oh! So, why is your face so ugly? Dude, maybe you're the one that needs glasses. Here you are, sitting around moping because you think your dad got the hot one, when I am 10 times as beautiful as my sister. Wait. My girl's the one that wore glasses, but I'm the one that was blind. 'Cause when she took the specs off her face, I suddenly saw she was fine. My girl wore glasses, but I couldn't see the beautiful woman in front of me. Her glasses covered up how hot she was. And I guess they lived happily ever after. Now I have some thoughts. How come in a lot of these Beauty and the Beast tales, when the man is a beast, the girl has to fall in love with him as is? But when the lady is the beast, he gets to be a little shit until she fixes herself. There's a lot of folktales out in the world. Hopefully there's an example that differs from that. But the only way the end of this tale works for me is if Tatterhood is actually hypnotizing her new husband to just accept her as she is, and she doesn't change herself, because she seems to really like herself, and I like her. Interestingly, the Wikipedia summary implies that she's been beautiful all along, she just chooses to look ragged. But that's not clear to me from the text, and there's no citation for that in the article, so I don't know. Thanks for watching! Let me know what you thought of the fairy tale in the comments. If you like my work and want to support it, here's a couple ways you can. And I'll see you for the next Fucked Up Fairy Tale.
Fucked Up Fairy Tales with Liz. Fucked Up Fairy Tales with Liz.